Hey everybody, welcome to Cinematic AF. I'm Mike Finlay, and this is...
I'm Ryker Wells.
So, I guess I'm filling in for Richard today.
You got a spot?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
fine.
have his encyclopedic knowledge of film, but I'm going to do my best. We watched, what,
The
Foreigner?
Foreigner.
How'd you like it?
Like, it wasn't, like, crazy amazing to me. I thought it was a very good movie. It's exactly what I expected, I guess. Is
Okay.
what I can say. I liked it quite a bit. So the general plot is that bomb goes off, kills his daughter, and then he wants vengeance. He starts asking everybody he can on who the names of the people are so they can go and kill him.
And it was a terrorist act.
Terrorist act, yeah.
That kills his daughter, and then through his investigation, you learn more about what happens.
Yeah.
And that's kind of actually where the film changed for me versus like the trailers. It actually is a lot more like complicated.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a simple like revenge story of they killed his daughter and now he's going to kill them.
What did you think of Jackie Chan's performance overall?
That's actually a really good question because I growing up watching Jackie Chan films, like he's always been, this great, he does all his own stunts. I think everybody knows that. He's always been like an action comedy kind of actor. So it's kind of interesting to see him in this more dramatic role that I haven't really like personally seen him in. And I think he really knocks it out of the park. You really feel sad for this guy who loses everything. Like you really feel emotional. He looks like the saddest you've ever seen.
It's just super solemn, and like you could see, and it shows in the trailer how he just and he was waiting there, and he goes back every day and just waits there until they finally talk to him, and when they do finally talk to him, it's just this sad conversation of him, his daughter died in the accident, and he plays it extremely well, I think, and it was good seeing him in that role compared to his comedy roles. Not that they weren't also serious in their own...
Right, yeah. What about his stunt work in the film? Because that's another part of his acting, I would say.
Yeah, for me, it was... I was kind of wondering, I didn't think they would do it, obviously. The movies he does here in America compared to the movies he does in China is different in the stunt work that he does, because he has, like, free roam to do whatever he wants. The coordinator and the director are practically the same person, so he almost directs them in the end. He has all day if he wants to get one fight scene, and they'll let him do that because they'll spend all the money they want. But here in Hollywood, that's not the way at all that we function.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if they wouldn't do that, just because it is based off of the book The Chinaman and stuff, and see if they wouldn't, show more of the action. But then there was a point where we were watching one of the fight scenes, and I was counting the cuts to see if they did actually like leave it there leave like some shots there for longer, and they never did. But I think the choreography overall of it was really good. And his movies in general, most of the time, especially because they're an action comedy, he normally shows those blows and they get knocked across the room.
Yeah, they're out in like one It's like one of those like movie tropes where he hits a guy and they're like pretty much out unless they're like a movie badass and they got a cool fight scene. Whereas in this, everybody takes a few hits. You know,
and then especially him too. And the beginning is especially.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of hits too.
You can see his, like you said, his age definitely shows.
This movie doesn't really tell you a whole lot that's going on.
Because you don't really know why Jackie has all these skills until kind of later on when they like reveal his backstory, and so he just kind of pops up in places and like just able to track down the guy no problem, and it's like, what the? How does this happen?
How did he do that?
How did he do that? And they never really. It's not. I think even if they didn't reveal his backstory, I don't think it's necessary to show it. It's one of those world building or those character building things where it's like, do you need to show every little detail of the protagonist's backstory for you to understand the plot? Right. And so there were those times where it's like, I don't know how he did that, but it's cool and it's fine and it works and I don't really mind, and same thing with the world, the way they build the world,
Because I think, I don't think a lot of people know this, but The Foreigner is based off a book, The Chinaman.
A book called The Chinaman,
Yeah. And I think a lot of the problems with this film maybe because they try to be too faithful to the book, and do all the different threads that were probably popped up in the book.
Yeah.
They do cut down on, from what I understand of the book.
Yeah, they cut down on a couple different aspects.
Yeah.
And they didn't change too much of the story from what I had read on a summary of the book. And like I said, this is a summary review. But yeah, there are definitely some more gruesome details that were put into the book, I guess.
That too, but also the fact that they have all these different power struggles going on. Maybe you would have a greater understanding of that in a book versus an on-screen narrative where you're kind of scratching your head. But I feel like the general audience maybe might lose track of who's
where.
I know who's lying, who's doing stuff for themselves. Because this film is very like, I don't want to even say shades of gray. Like, it's very like just dark shades all around. Like everybody's a villain.
Yeah, it seems like everybody is a little bit of a villain. I agree with that, and I think the film does a good job of showing in the end who is the good guys.
Right.
But there is that point in the movie where you're kind of like, wait a second.
Yeah,
like,
you're a little
doing these deals and
you're a
that
little
deals.
confused because I would say the main antagonist, you don't really understand, is someone lying or am I even rooting for the right person? I asked that myself a lot. I asked, am I rooting for Jackie Chan? Like, I feel like I shouldn't be rooting for him based off what I'm actually seeing and the information I'm given. Yeah, it feels a little wrong to actually root for him. And then, towards the end, as everything comes together, he becomes, I would say, the lesser of the evils.
And I think that partially comes from just because of the fact that you had what these people do and what he's doing, and they're significantly worse. You know, like they're killing innocent people, and he's not.
Yeah.
They referenced the title of the book multiple times actually in there.
Yeah.
That was just kind of, they said the Chinaman, and they said Chinaman.
They said it was a little bit like undertones of racism.
It was,
little bit.
But I think part of that is like for the IRA, which was originally founded, as like a kind of like a violent group, that you might expect people that are part of that organization to be in that to be that way.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that I thought was this took place during modern day, right? But in the book takes place during like the 80s and 90s, I think it says.
Oh yeah.
So they adapted that. Interestingly, I obviously haven't read the book, so I don't know how exactly like the events that would have turned out.
That's interesting because it has such a modern focus on terrorism.
It does.
I feel like it seems more prevalent nowadays.
So extremely, especially since it was, this is all we've known as at our age. I think they adapted really well. Obviously, I don't know the events in the book, but I do kind of wonder what events they threw in the book for that time period. Like you're saying, like how would you write that for that time? Even if it was in the 90s, the 90s still didn't necessarily have, as far as I know, like a mass amount of terrorism. Like what really sparked it off for us in America, at least, is 2001.
Right.
Doesn't mean there weren't other stuff beforehand, and internal stuff maybe, but.
And that's another thing. I felt like this was more of a British film than it was an American film.
Yeah, I don't know who actually made it, whether we did or whether they did.
It was it was made by what's his name, Martin.
Oh, Martin Campbell. Yeah, so Martin Campbell. I don't know that director enough to tell you.
But he did make 2 British
films. Oh, okay.
Films.
So maybe
James Bond. So he's got a very British sensibility to him. That's
probably
why
does then.
They slipped into this one pretty nicely.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. I agree.
I will say, I don't know if you heard any of the dialogue or anything like that and thought, well, that was really on the nose. Or that was really hammy.
Some of the Irish conversations were like, oh, okay. But the way that the actors delivered it was really good, I think.
Yeah, I think it was more the writing of the dialogue that wasn't poor, but the acting of the dialogue was good.
Good, yeah, and especially like they had whenever the actors are delivering lines, it feels like it just sounds good to me. That's just me, but the writing of the dialogue definitely not the best. And all Jackie Chan's was definitely fine because it was like, he said exactly what he needed to say, and that was it. You know, he only had, you could count the amount of lines. I bet he had less than, 200 words in the film.
And he probably said, "Give me the names."
Multiple
half
times.
of the time, half of the things he said was probably just tell me who it is. And give me the names.
Yeah, the overall words and then the actual content of like how many different words is totally two different things.
Yeah.
Like, he said 20 different words, but there was only like 100 words that he said total. How many times that he said the total? So like, I think that's interesting. But like, you still can tell so much about the character when they don't say things. Like, they always say like, even when you're not talking, you're still communicating.
Yeah, and there's a lot of beautiful scenes of the actors like just doing small, minute like things that like really inform you of the character.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, would you recommend this movie?
Well, yeah, I'd recommend this movie, especially if you're a Jackie Chan film. Like, it's great because he's in he's in a totally different role. I can't remember whether it was 2015 or 2016 that he got the Life Achievement Award that he did. Which was, maybe past due a little bit, but I think so seeing him in this different role is really awesome. I still want to see him in plenty of other comedies, And if he's still doing backflips at 90 years old, I'm still gonna go watch that. But
he is.
Oh,
too.
he will be.
He will be able to do that.
Yep, it'll be great because
he'll still be able to beat us both up. And you have a black belt.
Yeah. So. Well, that doesn't mean anything compared to his experience.
So yeah. You'd recommend this movie?
I would.
For other people to go see it. Go see the movie, or maybe you just wait to rent it, or
I'd go see it. I'd
go see
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say go see it too.
I will give it
2 Jackie Chan punches to the face out of 3.
Because he's got three punches in real life,
he's
right?
Got 3 punches.
Right.
This was Cinemac AF with Mike Finlay and Ryker Wells. Catch us next week for the review of Only the Brave. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe to one of the 3 of those, which is probably YouTube.
One that you can subscribe to, yes.
That's the only one you can subscribe to.
You can follow all the rest. Don't forget about, we didn't mention Twitter. Don't forget about Twitter. I can't remember what our Twitter handle is though. I don't know. It'll be up on the screen somewhere around here or down there.
Blinking somewhere. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.
This was Cinematic
Stay classy.
AF. Yeah, that's stay. Welcome to Cinematic AF. My name is Richard.
Nice.
And we just got back from seeing Blade Runner 2049. Max is here today because Max, this is kind of a